I hope that music was like fitting. I really enjoy it.
With on your YouTube.
Yeah, on the I used to go here review. I used Mario Odyssey music for that one.
Bro, I was about to say, I liked it. I thought you did a good job with it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Are you gonna see that movie? Because I was the one who told Kyle it sucked dick.
Yeah, the video exists because of him.
Yeah. No. Well, where's it on? What streaming?
It's on HBO Max.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll probably.
There's probably a DVD of it in someone's trash.
Okay. I'll have to get to it. Well, I have not seen Gentlemen Broncos. I can't.
Oh my god.
See, I can't do. I have a hard time with the. If this movie sucks, like you got to watch it.
Well, no, because here's okay. I'm gonna say something. Okay. You can put this in whatever different podcast you want. It does not have to be in this episode. Right. But man,
I'll decide.
I was communicating with somebody who told me Gentlemen Broncos was their favorite movie. And I said, I've never heard of this movie before. It sounds like, I was like, what is it? So I looked up the concept of it and I said, oh, it's interesting. Oh, I was like, it has Jermaine Clement, the main kid in it, which I really like. And it's put on by the same studio that does like Nacho Libre and Napoleon Dynamite. It's
the same
which
director, yeah.
That is like a very niche category.
Yeah.
And I went into that movie. I don't even know how to explain it. Like it was so bad. It was so bad. And the reason it's so bad is because it has a great concept.
It's atrocious.
I love the concept.
The concept's great.
Because I don't know. Do you know what it's about roughly?
Well, the kid writes a story, right? And
so he like
famous writer steals it, right?
Yeah. So it's like this kid the movie's cool too because it keeps going into the story. So the kid writes a science fiction story, and it's based around like that 1970s when science fiction, like the covers were really cool and the stories were all spacey.
It's very imaginative.
Yeah.
Which I love that atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And so it's like this kid's writing a story. He's homeschooled, has no friends. He goes to a seminar where there's this famous artist who does covers. And he's like, if you submit your story and I like it, I'll make a cover for it. And so like when there are like scenes of the kid writing the story, and then the movie will cut to like this version of the story, like whoever's writing it. So like in his story, it's like the character's super strong and badass, and he's fighting these like monsters. And it's played by
Sam Rockwell.
Who's awesome. Like I love
Rockwell.
Yeah. And so then, Jermaine Clement's character, he gets the story, realizes it's great. He's in debt. He goes, I'm going to steal this story. This kid's a homeschooler. I'm going to turn it into a movie. And at the same time, the kid, after he submits his story, a local movie guy finds the story. He goes, hey, I want to make a version of this story too. And so the movie is about this kid who has someone who stole his story and then someone who he sold his story to, both making their own version and ruining his story. And it's about like him dealing with it.
Oh, wow.
It's a good concept.
Yeah.
when when Jermaine Clement's like, he's changing the story. He goes, no, I'm going to change this name to this. I'm going to change this. It cuts to the Sam Rockwell version of the story, like displaying how it's playing out. And it's like more weaker, and he's like way more flamboyant in his story. And then it's like, then it shows like the local movie dude making it. And so you're like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Cause like, well, the idea is like you're following this kid, his story's getting ruined.
Yeah.
He's got to figure it out. It's a great idea.
It's like a good like lost in translation sort of thing.
Yeah,
where,
absolutely.
Like, the story's just getting transformed.
But they took the concept and just smashed it with a hammer over and over again. They made the movie disgusting. They made the humor terrible. They took great actors, made them awful.
Let me tell you, McClain, it's like they made this movie bad on purpose.
Yes, yeah.
They made all the wrong choices.
It was I told the person who told me this movie, I said, I watched that movie. It is the worst movie I've ever seen. And I was like, you know how hard it is to say that? Do you know how hard it is? I thought it was a joke. I was like, do you actually like this movie? Like she's like, yeah, it's, I thought it was hilarious. I love it. And it blew my mind. I no longer communicate with this person.
There were many scenes where I just wanted to shut the movie off. But I just powered through because like, this is so trashy. I have to finish this. Like, I have to see how worse it gets.
And it
gets worse.
Yeah. It's not like an Eternals thing where it's like, you gain nothing. This movie,
it takes something away from you.
Aggravated me. And so, like, it was refreshing in a sense when I told everybody it was bad. And Kyle goes, I'm going to watch it. And then he watched it and he went, oh my God. He's like, this was the worst movie I've seen.
I took notes and I had like 5 pages of notes of just everything that was wrong with it.
Yeah. And it made me feel good that, like, it wasn't a one-off feeling. I was like,
right.
thank
You could actually relate. Someone can relate.
I was like, it's bad.
It's not just
It's
me.
bad.
Yeah,
You
you
feel
watch
justified.
it.
I watched it with Lauren, and she was so upset. She's like, "Oh my god, that's terrible." Like will still like we'll be driving, and she'll just be like, I can't believe that movie was that.
It's upsetting because you can see the potential. You can see
Yes.
what could have been in
Yes,
there.
and I think it's because the actors too. There's quite a few good actors, and it has the worst character in cinema history.
Fucking Lonnie.
Yeah, Lonnie. Oh my god.
If you ever watch that movie, Mac, and you come across the character of Lonnie, and you'll know when you come across him, you'll want to strangle him until his eyes pop out of his head, and you stab him in the heart with whatever remote control device you're using.
Lonnie. Okay. Well, yeah, you guys are doing a good job on the upsell.
He's the skinny kid from Nacho Libre.
Yes.
I haven't seen. It's the same.
But you probably like seen the poster for Nacho Libre or like
of course,
commercials.
it's Jack
or something.
Black.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a wrestler. Trust me. All three. When Kyle told me, he goes, "I watched Gentlemen Broncos." I was like, I remember that when that movie came out.
I remember
and how
it
much,
too.
Like,
yeah.
there was a lot of weight behind it, and I was like, there are movies that will come out that just for no reason whatsoever disappear.
That was one actually.
That was one because it was kind of gaming in Nacho Libre and Napoleon Dynamite. It was of the same vein, that kind of quirky comedy. God, I don't even know how to just But and I remember Clement. He had a big. I think he had the HBO series that he just came out with.
Flight of the Conchords.
Yep.
Love Flight of the Conchords.
That's a good show.
And and the band, the music was good. He was becoming kind of a big name, and they grabbed him and put him in this film, like with not the height of his name, but definitely like it was either gaining steam or not the height, but it was definitely gaining steam. And then all of a sudden he disappeared for a little bit too. The next time I heard it, Clement was in Jermaine was probably Moana.
Oh, did you watch What We Do in the Shadows? The
say.
movie?
Yeah,
movie, not the TV show.
And that's YTT too, right?
Yeah.
That movie.
That is a good movie.
That's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Yeah, there are some good parts in that movie.
I could do a whole podcast on just What We Do in the Shadows, the movie.
I listened to another podcast and they absolutely just like one guy beat up that film. Like they're like, I don't get why it's funny. So I was like, I gotta watch this now, and I laughed. I like
it's great. I love the sense of humor.
It's kind of the same vein. It's that quirky kind of, and that's speaking of another kind of fun. Like, hey, let's just film vampires and their lives and where they're at now.
Well, Taika actually, I think I was looking into it, and I think he was trying to get the movie made a while before it even came out. And he wanted to make it with his friends because he's friends with Jermaine and he's friends with the other guys.
Yeah.
And because the whole movie takes place in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But they wanted to make it like in the States and stuff. And they said, yeah, we'll make the movie, but you're not going to have these two. You're not going to have your friends in it. We're going to put, B and A-listers.
Yeah.
And so it never got made for years. And then so he's like, I think he produced it himself with other people. I think obviously other company produced it.
They got him with someone.
But they made it in New Zealand. And which is great, and you can tell that they're all just friends.
Oh, dude, the chemistry on scene is even. There's like a werewolf involved. I think.
Yeah.
And there's didn't they get a servant in there too?
Yeah,
and I've seen it once, and I remember I was like, I don't think so. I didn't laugh the whole time, but there are a lot of good parts in there that I like, and interesting quips that they kind of have. Like, what would you do if you're a 3,000-year-old vampire? Like, you never walk the streets like. Tonight when you go home, you won't be looking in a mirror thinking about it. But for them to put it on screen and have some, they took a lot of scenarios and made it pretty funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, sorry. We're not even okay. Cut. Sorry. And we're
back to Marvel.
All right.
Sorry. You
Gideon, what a fantastic list. Anyways, what we do?
You could just cut that whole
we cut
section.
the wrong scene. Like, Kyle goes in and cuts this part.
You're like, yeah.
You go through your stuff and then we're listening to it and it just ends with
I read my list, and then the next cut is us talking about Gentlemen Broncos. just saying how terrible it is. God, I'm sorry.
I might make that its own thing.
You might have
to. Dude, do what?
Or just it's just a tangent, like a 10-minute.
Put it at the end of it. Like, can you take that out and stick it?
Dude, if I were you, I would literally just upload it as a bonus clip because no one's good, and people might not wait till the end. Like literally upload.
I might just.
Because that would be kind of funny. Because how many tangents do you guys go on? Like if you upload little, it's like a highlight reel. Like every YouTube channel. Like
dude. I mean, if he didn't keep us on track sometimes. hours. Like we could be in here for 3
That's
or 4
what I'm saying.
hours.
Dude,
Like,
you could be like, go on tangent about
what
this
was
and this.
the last time we were in here? I think me and him did an intro for 15 minutes or something like that. And all of a sudden,
we were talking about the general dude from freaking Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, Army. Oh yeah. And I just
hey, be careful. You guys are gonna go back into it.
No, yeah. All right, all right. Well,
all right.
I'm just gonna. That should be something.
Listen, okay.
Go. Gideon, read your list.
My list.
Just go, man. Just go.
I know, especially because I was like, hey, let's do a 2-hour podcast. So there's 6 minutes left, and I haven't even. My list.